Well, 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 if it isn't us, me, and Kass, us, here today for this almost spooky October edition of Call Kass. From the darkest, most dankest recess of your local Kasstronics, we are here for another week of the call-in show, and where you call us and provide us with content while we make all the money, suckers. There's a phone number. It's in the title. It'll be live soon. In the meantime, let me say hello to my brother in arms. My case on a Sony Trinitron flat screen TV that I used to sell at Best Buy. Maybe that's actually a Toshiba. I don't know. What's going on, Case Blackwell?
We're in deep storage. We don't know which particular electronics we're working with, but it's a pleasure to be here either way. Good to see you, Kass.
Great to see you. Great to see the chat. We've got a lovely hour or so of show planned for you. Well, there's not really a whole lot planned other than we're going to open up the lines. You guys will call us and tell us what's going on. We are open vessels for all your comments and concerns. I am fresh off a week of not streaming yet again, being bogged down with what normies would call a job. Oh, boy. It is hard work, let me tell you. Getting out there for a few hours a day, doing work for other people. Yuck.
Even working at noon to 2 is too much for me, you know? Like 2 hours of
Whoa,
work.
you do noon to 2? Well, how much sleep do you get?
I mean, I can't even sleep past noon.
Jesus Christ, man.
I know.
Ooh, wow, look at all this. Lot of subs. Oh my God, I've been on Twitch for 2 years. Let me give a few shout outs here. I never know if this is good form or not when you're streaming with someone else, but I feel like we all for the most part have a lot of the same subscribers. Canyon, thank you for the 18 months. Ginger, thank you for the 18 months. Canyon, I'm sorry for the 24 months. That's 2 years. Low tier Tyler for the 24. Another 2 year. Dank Sauce, thanks for the raid. I'm assuming Dank Sauce will be call screening. A shout out to my my buddy and call screener of Call Kass, Dank Sauce. Bundle Spout is here for 24 months. Whistling Dixie's here for 24 months. And Titty's here for 24 months. He says he's won 5,000. We'll have to check that. I don't know if that's... Did you get that on your end?
We have to check with the lawyers.
Yeah, we got to check with the lawyers and make sure that the 5,000 is set aside for you.
We can't wait to give away that 5,000, but we do have to make sure that it's all following the rules.
There's a lot of like game show law that we got to make sure that we're not a Mr. Beast operation here where we're just breaking FCC code. We've got to make sure we're doing it right.
We're in California. So much red tape. That's why we can't build houses
lot of red tape. Bureaucracy, red tape. Local Puppet, thank you for the 9 months. He won a good time. That's right. You all won a good time for the next hour and a half. Wakas, thank you for the 2 years. Dark Silk, thank you for the 2 years. Oh my God, my fiance or my pre-wife. You married Sweet Cheeks or what? You married Sweet Cheeks or what? Is that you trying to be like the typical male commenter in my chat? And she's doing the cunnilingus sign to me now. Jesus God, I wish people saw this side of you, dude. She's doing blowjob sign. She doesn't know which side the penis is in. She's going like this, but the penis is coming out the wrong side. True Blue 91 RS, thank you so much for the 24 months. Lady Citrix, I forgive you for telling me to get out of Spinachy's chat earlier today. She says, I love you, Case Blackwell. She's really been negging me today. Exterminator, thank you for the 24 months. And it's design time for the 23 months. And that's all my administrative work. And
I got some subs too, but I'll thank them at the end because it'd be really bad form to just thank them now. Like, I would never do that.
See, that's what I was afraid of. It's just like doing it at the wrong time.
It's just for me, it would be. For me, it would be.
For you, okay, all right. Yeah. I just feel like by you saying that, it makes it seem like I did them at the wrong time for me.
No, I wasn't saying that.
Okay. Because if you were, I'd I'd be very upset if I did it wrong.
For sure.
We got a Patreon on Wednesday, just a reminder, where we're watching we're doing a Patreon podcast, but we're also watching the Vince McMahon documentary, which I don't know if you've had a chance. You've watched all of it? No
on
spoilers.
My trip to Chicago, I used the flight time.
Oh yeah, you went to Chicago. I want to hear about Vince McMahon, no spoiler, overall thoughts, and then 2, I want to hear about your trip to Chicago. I did see you were at the Bean. I saw you in I think it was a TikTok at the Bean. Tell me about those things.
Yeah, I pretty much I lived in Chicago for 15 years almost, so I kind of know all the hottest things to do there. For instance,
of course,
you might have heard of you probably haven't heard of this. There's a Bean.
Yeah.
And also it was formerly called the Big Tall Tower, but now it's called the Willis Tower.
Whoa.
And I took Kendall to both. So.
Whoa.
Kind of the inside scoop that I had, yeah.
Where's the Sears Tower? Is that in New York?
They moved it actually, from the first city to the second city, as we like to call it. And we call it that because we were the second ones to get the Sears Tower, formerly the Big Tall Tower.
Okay, the former the Big Tall Tower. And then you went to the Bean, which very off the beaten path stuff. No way you did some deep dish while you were over there.
We did do some deep dish.
Oh my gosh.
I convinced Kendall to go to Pequod's instead of Lou Malnati's, which is the classic recommendation.
What is
But again, I'm kind of a
Pequod's?
Chicago insider, so I sort of know what's up.
Yeah. So that's sort of like you got to sort of be a local to understand.
Yeah.
You have Pequod's. Never heard of the Pequod's. What is what do they got over, let's say, Giannato's?
Juan Carlos, yeah. They have I just figure if you're gonna have deep dish, you may as well go full cake mode. And
okay.
Pequod's really kind of goes with the candy pizza in my opinion. Oh my god.
Whoa.
I will thank all the subs at the end. I'll do a wrap at the end because that's what I like to do. But anyway, it's a little more, it tastes a little more sugary to me, and I think I kind of appreciate that because I really feel like deep dish is just cake pizza.
Yeah, I like a deep dish. Is that your preferred pizza, or because I've no disrespect, I'm a thin crust guy. I like a New York
deep
style.
dish is honestly, and I'm gonna get murdered.
You're gonna,
by
dude.
all
They're
the
gonna
Chicago
fucking
heads in the chat.
kill you for what you're about to say.
But I like normal pizza. I do think deep dish is a little. It's like
Get 'em, boys.
It's good every once in a while.
Take them
I
away,
also
boys.
think ketchup is good on hot dogs, and I think ketchup is good on pizza. I get a normal pizza and I cover it in ketchup.
Oh no, he's saying all the wrong stuff. They call him
Yeah.
against the grain Blackwell. That's what they call him. Yes, sir. I like
Sorry, everybody, I've gone fully Los Angeles.
I like that that place where the black ladies tell you got a small dick when you order a hot dog.
Oh, the hospital?
No.
Oh, not that.
Oh, is that just where you were born?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's well, unless they serve hot dogs there, it could be, but I think it's
The Wiener Circle, yeah.
Yeah, the
And
Wiener
I have
Circle.
been told.
yeah. They
Yeah.
I like it. I like a hot dog with an attitude. You know what I mean?
Me too.
I don't want to get
And
it
they
from a
won't
nice
just say you have a
person.
small dick. They'll also they'll find something that you aren't even aware you're insecure about, and let you know.
Yeah, I think they'll even flash a titty at you too if you're not careful.
Yes, yeah, and then as a punishment.
Yeah. I gotta go back to
Insults written
Chicago.
under the nipple.
Yeah, we gotta go back. All the Chicago folks in the chat, all the blasphemy you just heard. I would say send us some physical mail, a long letter where you are dragging Case through the mud. But I gotta tell you, and this is a really poor segue I just did, but we no longer have a PO box because I forgot to re-up it. I didn't forget. They never sent me the notice. And so if you've sent us mail within the last few months, there's a strong chance it was sent back to you, and I am truly sorry for that. Okay. I went to go pick up a package that I had coming, and then I stuck my key in, and then it was locked, and I go to the guy, I'm like, what's the deal here? And we had to play this game where it was like, well, what's the account under? I'm like, Cream Team. He's like, huh? It's like, what's the box for? I'm like, Cream Team. CTDS, Fiona, Cat. He's like, nope. And it just was like a completely different business. I just didn't know. I don't remember what the name was that we registered under, so I thought he was just playing coy with me. But turns out we no longer have a P.O. box, so I don't really know if we need it. Yeah, I don't really know if we need it, to be honest. I still have some packages that were sent to us that we haven't opened because we haven't been in person for a good long time. So
without the ability to sit around a picnic table and open that mail together, I just don't know.
I don't know. Ever since Fiona just like left, she's just been backpacking in Europe, but we just haven't been able to get together.
Also, though, Kass, my chat, which is probably large elements of this chat, did hit a sub goal for me to come and retrieve Puffy Bear from your Airstream, so I can finally. I held your Airstream hostage. Unless he's become your son and you want to keep him, I think I can come get him. You know, whenever it works for you. You
can pick them up. I just should let you know that I did the thing that they did in, Long Legs, where I put a little ball in his skull, and he's possessed by the devil. So
that's
little
just
metal
an extra
ball.
One. There are already a couple in there for sure.
Cuckoo.
His little eyelids just flopping up.
Yeah. So
those
just as long as you know
bear
that.
Eyelids that he has.
Yeah, his beautiful bear eyelids. Yeah. You can come get him. I think as long as I have like a couple days to let him know.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I just want to spring that on him. He's very comfortable in there. Absolutely.
It's a go live with your dad kind of situation. Like, you don't want to just do it day of. You need to let them like wind up to it, say goodbye to their friends, know that they're changing school district.
Yeah. And then Puffy Bear comes and picks him up on his motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
Which is cool, but it's also like, why don't you own like an actual car, Dad? You're 42.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cramps his style. He has to get a sidecar. It ruins both their lives.
Yeah. Sidecar. Just not as cool. What do you say we open up the phone lines? Let's get our boy Dank Sauce in there. Call us 844-721-Kass in just a moment once we open it up, and you'll know it's open. Because
I think you'll know.
Yeah, I think you'll know because graphics. Yeah. The graphics.
Yeah, they're looking pretty open.
What's going on?
While this graphic is flopping around the screen, what's your thoughts on the Vince McMahon documentary?
That's right. I got to get your thoughts. We watched one episode so far. That first episode was just like, look how good at business he is. Look at what he wrestled it away from his dad. He didn't really wrestle it away, but like he made a deal to take the business, and like he expanded it sort of against the will of all the other people that owned those sort of wrestling markets, or the heads of their own little markets, and he sort of said it didn't play by the rules and was like, I'm gonna take the best wrestlers from every market and turn it into a thing. So it seems right now, and I've heard this story before, but in the Netflix doc episode 1, he just looks like a very savvy, hardworking businessman. That's where we're at so far.
Interesting. Yeah, I kind of binged all 6 episodes while traveling, and
so tell me what.
So there's kind of a genre in
Mm-hmm.
in WWE wrestling specifically of like the retrospective featuring WCW.
Mm-hmm.
Anything between like the 80s and 2000s, they've covered that territory in documentaries like 100 times.
Yeah.
With wrestling stuff, specifically WWE has, and I was a little surprised how close to that mold this show is, given that it's about, like a recently exposed sexual maniac. There's some interesting parts where they're like kind of picking at his brain a little bit, but a lot of it is exactly what you're saying. Like, he really made some interesting business decisions, and he's really cutthroat in the business world.
He seems very smart. He seems like he had a vision, and then he's executed it so far. And does it get into that stuff in a way that's like appropriate, or do they stay away from it in a way that's like they kind of wanted to make sure that they didn't come across too anti?
As Bonsai Bullfrog is pointing out, they finished it before the latest revelations. Granted, there's been multiple rape allegations against Vince even before 2020, so I don't entirely think that's the best excuse. But I would say because the more recent ones were so extreme, it seems like the change they made is they just add kind of atmospheric dread / suspense music under everything.
Mm-hmm.
So the entire documentary kind of has this vibe that they're building up towards like this dark reveal. Like everything is essentially underscored by the most recent revelations, which makes all of it creepier, but they're not actually building towards any kind of deep dive on that stuff. They cover it pretty briefly in the final episode. And because Vince, unsurprisingly didn't come back for an interview after the Janelle Grant stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like Dave Meltzer and other wrestling journalists being like, I read that stuff and it's pretty fucking crazy. Uh-oh.
No, that's kind of a bummer. Sort of my thought was that all the juicy stuff was going to be included in it, and even.
I mean, they show a screen cap that says defecation in case anyone's worried that they don't.
That's good.
They
okay.
don't
That's good.
They don't cover it as much as you might think they would. Just given the timing.
Yeah. Okay. Worth it. Worth the overall watch. Glad you watched it. Did you learn a lot of stuff that you didn't, even though it was like ground that was already covered?
Cause he's such a maniac, he unfortunately is very watchable. Like he opens the documentary, as you probably saw, by being like, I'm not gonna tell you the fucking truth.
Yeah.
It'd be so cool if I could tell you the real stories, but instead I'm just gonna lie.
Yeah.
And it's sort of interesting. He's like concocted a very bizarre and interesting life story and by extension universe for himself. So unfortunately I do find him pretty watchable, but in sort of a car crash kind of way.
Well, look, yes. And even honestly, even if they were retreading the same stories that they have talked about in other documentaries, like it's pretty fascinating how they turned wrestling into what it is today. Even just like the era that I was really into, which was like, I watched it as a kid, but like I got into it in like the late 90s. I think it sort of like culminated with like I remember when Stone Cold popped on, and that was like the hottest, it was like the greatest thing to ever happen to wrestling. And, like that to me was a huge, from when I was a kid, and there were, it was like Andre the Giant, and then I was like from the Andre the Giant to and the Hulk Hogan, then to the Stone Cold, the Rock was sort of my time, Shawn Michaels. And I find that period alone just fascinating. And I haven't really tuned in to wrestling past that, but like it's really just the business side of just like all the stuff you would think would be boring, like contract stuff, like TV market stuff. I like the part where he was just like, it was just our idea to do WrestleMania. I came back from vacation and decided to do WrestleMania. And it was just like, oh, wow. I mean, that was your idea, or at least you say it was your idea. I mean, it's a pretty fucking cool idea, I gotta say. But
they show him in a Speedo, and he's like, while I was looking fit in this Speedo, I thought, what am I in the Super Bowl but for wrestling?
I don't know. What happened to his voice? I want to say like he had a gravelly voice, but it was like it's another level now. It sounds like he's had like a tracheotomy.
He's his voice down his entire life. Like he was trying to do the most macho voice he could. He heard Jake the Snake and he got jealous, so he was like, I'll rasp it up even more.
Well, I'm glad we're watching it as a group. And if you are interested and you don't know, that's what we're doing every Wednesdays after we do our Patreon podcast. We do a watch along of something for the most part. We just finished not Agatha, the Batman Cape Crusader, and now we're doing Vince McMahon. I'm also trying to watch Penguin and Agatha, but I've only watched the first episodes of those. Have you caught any of those? I
have not caught either. I haven't heard much about the Agatha thing. It was the kind of thing I suspected there'd be some kind of online anger mob about because it's vaguely gay coded or something, but I haven't really heard anything about it.
You know what? I'm surprised too. Like I feel like the movie or the show's supposed to be super gay, and that's like a whole, army of folks online that just make a living
content hating that.
Yeah, hating that sort of stuff. And I don't feel like maybe my YouTube algorithm is not cycling through that part because I'm not seeing a whole lot of it.
I have kind of relentlessly been like unfollow, block. Don't recommend this, all that shit.
I can't do that. I can't stay away from it. I
I heart it. I hit like 6 times.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about. I just like to see what they're saying, and I don't watch their videos like all the way through, but I will see like what the titles are, and it gives me a snapshot of what is going on in that side. Do you know what I mean? Like it gives me a quick snapshot. Would I be way healthier and better off not even having it appear on my own page? Absolutely. But there is a sort of like masochistic thing that even mixed with a little schadenfreude where I just kind of like to know what they're up in arms about. And it also helps for when I'm, getting stories for our pod and stuff like that, because that to me is like endless entertainment, is just seeing what they're upset about. Like I have this guy, which I'll probably play on our Wednesday podcast, but the guy who bought like a $4,000 Taylor Swift guitar, he's like a right-wing guy, bought won a guitar at auction, right? I think it might have been signed by Taylor Swift, or it was one of her guitars, $4,000, and he gets up to grab it and he just smashes it in front of everyone to like make his cool statement. That's the stuff that I like to see on my timeline. It's really good.
Speaking of timelines, should we get to some calls, Kass?
We got to get to these calls, man. We got to see what these people are saying. Call us. Dank Sauce will take your call. You'll tell them who you are, what you're calling about. I want to hear what's going on with you guys. What problems are you facing? Some of you are in some of the states that are being affected by the hurricane. Like, are you okay? Are you guys hanging in there? What's going on in your part of the world? Call us, 844-721-KASS, and we will do our best to make it seem like we are interested in what you have to say. Snap J Duncan. Ooh, you remember Snap J Duncan? He calls and he's been giving us a lot of his stand-up.
I remember.
And he's got the catchphrase, which is literally just catchphrase, which killed, and it's on his first time doing comedy here on this program. But he wants some business advice. Snap J, are you there?
Check. Does this thing work?
Yeah,
baby,
we can hear you loud and clear, Snap J. How's it going?
Oh, what's up? What's up, Case? What's up, Kass?
Not too much. Doing pretty good.
What's up, Snap?
Oh, by the way, red burger shot hoodie, red helmet.
Oh, okay, yeah. I sort of.
We keep forgetting to ask.
I've been dropping it just because I feel like sometimes I'm forcing it.
You fucked up.
Yeah, I think I might like be maturing. It's taken us 4 or 5 episodes of this show, but I've like really grown quite a bit since we've started.
I've noticed
this.
that, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. And I don't know. It's like now that I'm getting married, it's like not a question I feel like I really need to ask. The only person I need to ask.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much. She's here.
Thanks,
My
Snapchat.
pre-wife is here. She's making gross sexual motions with her mouth and fingers over here, which is truly inappropriate while I'm trying to do a program. Snap, it says you want some business advice. What's going on? How can we help you?
Oh, yeah. Well, the stand-up comedy kind of ain't going so good. I bombed horribly.
No.
Oh no, what happened? Where were you?
Yeah, we went to a Ramathon, and I'm not gonna lie, it was like a big outdoor event, and I think the size of the space got to me, and I just kind of like, my pace was all off, and it was just bad, and I was getting booed, I was getting heckled.
Oh, the worst.
And,
when you say Ramathon, Snap J, do you mean like a big running event where you're doing a stand-up at like a marathon?
I'm sorry. I'm talking to y'all like you know what the fuck I'm talking about. No, Ramathon is a crash 'em up car derbies.
Oh, I thought that was just Toyota-thon, but for Dodge Rams. I thought you were at a car dealership doing comedy.
No, everybody gets their cars and they get into a chain link fence. It's kind of like WrestleMania, and then you just beat the shit out of each other, and the last car standing wins.
Oh,
Okay.
well, it sounds like fun. It sounds like
That's pretty cool.
people there would be receptive to some
people-
wild comedy.
Yeah, and in between, people like singing shit. Like, there's a
Mm.
microphone and people get up and we got, people singing songs. And I was like, I'll get up here and I'll do some stand-up comedy. And I just laid a turd.
Oh, well,
Damn.
yeah, they say you've got to sort of, you
pivot
have to
and
bomb. It's just a
pivot.
matter of when you do it, you know?
Are there any bits you want to
The thing
run
is
by
just to
us
keep going.
that you tried, Snapjay?
No, I gave up.
Okay. Oh, you gave up. Okay.
They say you bombed and you're supposed to keep going. I was like, no, I bombed. I quit. I'm done.
Actually, respect to that. I
That's
think
kind of braver in a way.
a lot of people would have the ego to keep going even when they shouldn't. And I think more people should give up. I think that's really
Mhm.
nice. Did you
Yeah, know when to quit.
know when to quit? Did you hit him with your catchphrase at any moment? And
I did. I think that
yeah.
I did, but I didn't do it enough. I think that was the problem.
Oh, gosh, if
I didn't
they
say
weren't
enough
biting
dumbass
on that.
bitches, and I didn't say enough catchphrases. Yeah.
I'm so sorry, man. It
I'll
could
tell you
happen
what,
to
I choked.
anybody.
It was my fault. Yeah.
Well, you've
But I got a
accepted.
new business. I want some advice.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. What's your new business?
So I'm doing. All right, get this. I'm a human dating app.
Okay.
I'm a matchmaker.
Huh.
So you don't have to get on the phone. You don't log in. You don't give them all your personal information.
Okay.
You just text me up. You say, hey, and it's mostly I'm doing it for women. It's women looking for men, and or ladies, whatever. And so then I hunt them down. I get them that bow they're looking for. I got my first client, and I found her somebody.
Wow.
You
Cass, you might have,
yeah.
to ask some follow-up questions, Cass. We might have the same thoughts here.
Well, yeah, I was just wondering sort of what qualities you had that made you think that this would be the right path for you. Because I just know you as like the joke maker, the guy with the hit catchphrase.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
I have I'm like super aggressive, and I don't take no for an answer. So
Okay.
people are kind of like, they're like, yeah, sure, I'll go on a date with her. Just leave me alone already. So.
Yeah, my questions
I
were
got
slightly
this
more
lady her first date.
just process-oriented real quick. When you say you chase people down, you mean you physically find the person to match with the person who's hired you. You're sort of Dog the Bounty Hunter, but for dating?
Well, yeah, I mean, match is a loose term. I just kind of find somebody, the first man I see, and I'm like,
That's right.
hey, you want to date this lady?
Oh.
Yeah.
And so you use the word aggressive. What sort of tactics do you employ to get these matches?
I just kind of talk in a circular nature,
Okay.
just kind of like real, confusing and annoying, and and they just kind of give up, kind of wear them down.
Okay. And are you forcing people to sort of like, are you making people, giving people the choice to date your clients,
Well,
or is it sort of like is it a little more?
No,
Mm-hmm. No.
Lonnie wanted me to force this guy to date her, but I said no. I think I can convince him with just my intellect.
Okay. And did that work?
Yeah.
You just talked him.
I got the sweetest gal to date with a cop, and
Okay.
it's on like Donkey Kong. I got $500. I got a finder's fee.
Did you know he was a cop? Was he like in uniform? You ran up to a cop and were
yeah.
like,
Oh,
date
yeah.
my client.
Yep.
Wow.
Okay.
We had a tit-a-tat for like Norway versus Sweden, and I just like debated the shit out of him and convinced him Sweden was better, and he said, okay, fuck it, I'll do it. I'll date this Lonnie Larson chick.
Okay. That sounds like that's been going. That sounds like it's going well. What advice do you think you need from Kass and I?
So I just got one client, I just like some tips, like what do y'all think about this technique? Is there a way to improve it? Is there any kind of advice you got for like, diversification or,
So if
you like a big time businessman, Cass.
if I'm understanding your process, and then I'll let Kass, just so Kass has all the information here.
Thank you.
You got a client, you say, I'm going to find you a date. You run out on the streets, you find the first person of the orientation they're hopefully interested in.
Uh-huh.
You verbally accost them. You sort of debate. You use your debate lord skills,
Yeah.
but somehow angled towards dating
Well,
the stranger.
I charm them.
You charm them
I
too,
charm
okay.
them too. You
Okay.
know. Yeah. It's not all vitriol.
Okay. Well, so can I ask you, like, what happens when you have a client who might not be, I don't know, attractive? And I'm not saying I know if this Lonnie Larson person is attractive or not attractive. Not saying, but
Well, no pictures.
you don't do pictures.
I'm just describing. I'm painting a word picture for the gentleman.
Okay.
And,
Yeah.
I'm highlighting. She got blonde hair. Some
Sounds
guys
good to
like
me.
that. I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, she's Swedish. That sounds.
Who doesn't
hot,
love a
right?
blonde
A
Swede?
Girl with,
Mm-hmm.
girl with dragon tattoo. That's hot.
Absolutely.
And then I said, hey, she crazy in the head. That means she crazy in bed.
That's
Oh,
pretty good.
okay.
It's like it's like a catchphrase almost, but for this.
Yeah. But then they thought I was a pimp, and I was like, no. You guys ain't gonna have sex
That's-
unless you
yeah.
want to.
I'm so sorry. That's really frustrating. They think that. I do have a bit of advice, Cass. In case,
Yeah, let's
unless
hear.
you
No,
already
I'd
have
love
something.
to hear the advice.
Just to expand the business portfolio and the kind of services
Yeah.
offered. It sounds like you're currently only charging the person who sent you out into the streets to find them a date. Outside the box idea here,
No,
you could
opposite.
opposite.
I'm charging the guy.
Oh.
Yeah, the ladies get me, and then I charge the guy, and then the ladies get the guy because they're rich or something. They can marry him and they get their money.
Oh,
So
They
okay.
like them because they pants.
So the person you're convincing to go date your friend is the you're getting paid by the guy on the street ultimately.
Yeah, I got him. I got $500 from this cop. Yeah.
Okay. Because that was going to be my advice: is you do a switcheroo, but you're actually ahead of me.
Yeah. I'm doing exactly what you were thinking. Yep.
I guess my only advice then would be, because now you've got a great business model, you're accosting people in the street and taking their money. Your client, the woman who's asked you to go do this, or man, whichever you end up with, I think you should basically let them know
really
that.
just women only.
Okay, great. That's fine. That's actually really forward thinking and kind of cool. You should actually tell these women, hey, what I do is actually really dangerous. It could be dangerous for you. Fortunately, I'm actually in these streets to protect you and make sure that I get you the best guy. So I will need to charge kind of a
exactly what I'm
recurring
saying,
protection
Kate.
fee.
Get out of my head. That's exactly.
That's what you're doing? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
a
This
fantastic
is
idea.
why I think you're a great businessman.
You're providing protection, and
You want to go into business with me, Case? You want to invest?
I mean,
You seem like you're vibing with this. You read my mind.
you vibe.
I'm just trying to think logically about how to expand the business. And I don't think I should take your earnings when you're having such good ideas on your own.
Well, you're not going to take any of my earnings. I'm just going to get some money from you to invest in my business.
Oh, that's interesting. That's actually really smart, too. That's
really
another way
smart.
to enrich. Case, do you have an idea of like a uniform that he could wear, just like while he's
Is it
sort
cold
of?
where you are?
Yeah, is it cold?
Is it what?
Is it cold?
Cold.
No, it's hot as balls. No.
Oh, great. In that case, you're gonna want to wear a full fur coat
Yeah.
to really keep the cool air in your body.
Oh.
And you want a big
Smart.
hat to
Big
block
hat.
out the sun if it's hot. Yeah.
Something with a feather, just so I can
Yeah,
cut
I
through
am
the
kind of in a
air.
desert.
Mm-hmm.
And the feather will let you know how
Okay.
windy it is, so that's
That's
important
right.
too.
Yeah.
And make sure you have really big sunglasses.
Yeah, that's great
Okay.
advice.
'Cause
Yeah,
it's sunny.
There's a clothing store right down the street, and they have free clothes. I'll go down there and play dress 'em up.
Someone in chat says a cane, and that could be useful if you're on the streets for quite a while. It gives you something to lean on.
Oh, I've seen people walking around with canes.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I think a cane would be good. I think it's sort of like an authoritative attitude, like a sort of, I'm not saying like
Check.
you're mean or anything, but you are in charge of them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I got that covered, bro.
And they don't talk out of line, because if they do, you know what I mean?
You gotta have to slap a bitch.
Well,
Yeah, I know.
I didn't say that, but you know what I mean?
That's a financial term, actually. That's It's what's called reinvesting in your business, Kass. It's just colloquially.
I don't
said.
wanna hit them. They make me hit them. I don't want to hit them. You know, I'm just trying to.
Of course. Yeah, you're a
These
businessman.
are the dudes. These are the customers, by the way. These are the customers.
Yeah.
The dudes, not the ladies. Never hit ladies.
Yeah. And I would say, you want some high profile clients too. If you were to get like a mayor or some sort of senator or someone, and then
music producer, / rapper / actor.
Also commemorate the moment by taking photos or video of their encounters, just so they have a nice keepsake of their date.
If you really want to take your business to the next level, consider actually working for a Wall Street investment firm and then teaching at a very prestigious prep school for the elite, and then maybe transition that into specifically managing the money of just any billionaire.
These are the ideas.
Sorry, that's like a 1,000-yard view. That's like a bird's eye view of like
5-year plan. You should just have your 5-year plan, but know that that's the goal.
I mean, I'm basically a lemonade stand right now, Case.
Okay. Sorry, I'm getting too far ahead of myself.
That's a while, you know.
Right.
You tell me to land on the moon, you know. I'm
that's fair.
Give me a break.
Yeah. Well, you know, we hope that you can kind of at least understand we believe in you that much, and I don't know. Hopefully, you can execute by the time you call us next time. We'd love an update on it. Okay, Snap.
I think I got 2 clients. So here we go.
Beautiful.
Hey.
Well, best of luck, Snap. I'm sorry the comedy career didn't work out, and it sounds like that's
okay.
It could be a very fruitful endeavor for you.
Yeah. Thank you, Snap.
Thank y'all very much. Cash fries.
Oh
my God, he still
got it.
You know,
kind of a shame he's not gonna pursue that.
It's a shame because I hate not having that in the world.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay.
you could have tried Joe Rogan's stage. We should have maybe thrown that out as an option.
Well, I think we got him on a good path. Thanks for calling, Snap J. Up next is Knocked Up None. Welcome back. Knocked Up. Welcome back to Call Kass. Yeah. What's going on, my friend? How are you, sir?
Good. I told Dank that we were going to talk about high school parties. I don't know if that's cool with you.
You want to talk high school parties? Yeah, absolutely. Just as long as you're not admitting to any crime, or if it is, it's just past the statute of limitations. Otherwise,
let me assess this. Are these memories of high school parties? And if not, are you currently in high school?
Yeah, these are fucking memories.
Okay, memories are fine. Memories are fair game.
Memories are good. Memories are good.
First, I just realized, sorry, this Case, you look like Shay Karl.
Do you know Shay Karl, Case?
No, but I will Google it.
Shay Karl, he's the pioneer of the family vlog.
Oh my gosh, now I know who this is.
Mormon family vlogger.
Yeah, I can see it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I remember Kass and G was kind of like friends with him, or maybe friends with him. I don't know, something like that back then. And that's what kind of...
Kass has a type, you know?
I have a type. I like him white, bearded, corn-fed.
You know, when I was in my 20s, if someone said I looked like someone, sometimes it'd be flattering. But now that I'm in my 30s when they say it, I know they're going to look like shit. So this is right up my alley.
I think Shay Karl has like 12 kids. Do you have any kids, Case?
No, I gave 6 of them to Shay Karl, unfortunately.
He did. Shay actually gets one from everyone at first, like prima nocta. You know, he just gets everyone's first. Instead of sleeping with your wife, he just gets your firstborn. So.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? Rapunzel? Well, not Rapunzel. So, what's the one where they got the firstborn? The old tale. Now it's gonna bother me. It's not
the Old Testament.
I don't know.
No, that's history, brother. I'm talking about a fantasy.
I have no idea.
I think you would spin the yarn. It was like spinning yarn, a gold.
I think it's probably Rumpelstiltskin.
Rumpelstiltskin. Yeah. I said Rapunzel. I meant Rumpelstiltskin. That's what it was.
So Knocked Up None, seeing as we're swapping old Rumpelstiltskin stories, you wanted to talk high school parties.
Yeah, what do you got, dude? What'd you do, man?
That's right. All right, well, this is a memory. I had a high school party back then. I was in 9th grade. I tried asking a girl out. She said no. I thought I had a good time with her. She felt bad, so she invited me to her birthday party.
Okay.
I went there, a couple popular kids there. Then in the bathroom, there was these two guys. They were drinking alcohol, a quarter of vodka. And I kind of wanted to drink it too, but they said no. So they just put it there, and when they went out, I went back, and I drank about a quarter of that quart.
Wow.
And I got mad that they wouldn't let me do it, so I flushed the rest down the toilet.
Oof.
I got super fucking drunk, and I was at the party. They thought I drank all the goddamn vodka, and I started puking in the toilet. Then they asked that I call my sister to come pick me up. My sister was pissed. I didn't piss. I threw up in the car all the way back home. My parents were awake, and then my mom called the police on the house.
Wow.
And after that, the girl never looked at me again.
Oh my gosh.
But it made a cool story for the rest of the years. And then after a year later, I got moved to boarding school.
Which year of high school was this? You might have already said, but I might have missed it.
9th.
9th grade.
9th grade. Okay, right at the start.
Okay. Can I
Yeah,
say
got
something?
shipped off to boarding school.
Yeah, Kass, please.
When you said, okay, I'm my wires are crossed here, because when you said your mom called the cops on this party, I go ethnic mom, right? I go immigrant ethnic mom. And then you said you got shipped off to boarding school. Then I'm like, that's a white thing. That's a white thing. I'm mixed up. I don't know what's the truth. What is your mom? Is she ethnic or is she white?
She's Italian. Does that make a difference?
Where was she born?
She's riding the line.
Where was she born?
Philly.
Philly,
I
it
don't
sounds
know,
like.
What color are they?
Okay.
They're like white and a little bit of pepper. I don't know.
Yeah.
How do you describe them?
They're like Blade.
Anyway,
You know, they can do both.
Do you have any high school stories?
Oh boy.
Parties you went to?
Gosh, I was a bad boy, especially in 9th grade. 9th grade, I was drinking, smoking pot. I'll give you one quick story, and then Case, I want to hear a bad boy Case story. But I'll tell you guys this quick. Maybe I've said this on a pod before, but I don't remember because, again, of all the drinking at a young age. But when I was in 7th grade, I would sneak out of my parents' house. My house, the house I lived in. And I would meet a few friends at the local elementary school that we all lived near. And we would each steal a bottle of alcohol from our house, okay? Somebody would always end up with like a bottle of like Bombay Sapphire or like Malibu rum, scotch, just shit no one really wanted to drink, but it was like stuff that, you didn't want to take like the beer that was in the fridge because your dad would know, So we'd all bring a bottle of something, and then we'd drink it and get drunk in the elementary school. Again, we're all in 7th grade. How old are you in 7th grade? You're like 11,
12 to 14,
12?
somewhere in there.
Okay. And we would all fucking party, right? Well, and partying was just like getting a few swigs in, acting silly, getting on the monkey bars or whatever. And then we would all just leave come like 4 a.m. and walk back to our homes alone. Kids alone, 4 a.m., middle of the night, walking home. That was a regular occurrence, okay? One particular night on my walk home, I used to do this thing where I would sneak out in the house, there's a door that opens, and then you're in the garage, and then when you're in the garage, there's a side door that opens, now you're in the side yard, and then from the side yard, you're out the house. So the door that goes into the garage, I would crack open, okay, because I didn't want anyone to hear the doorknob jiggle or whatever, so I'd keep that cracked. Then the side garage door I would close because there was a little more sound to muffle. I came back, okay, I'm fucking hammered, I'm 11, I was always younger for my age, by the way. I'm hammered. I'm 11 years old. I walk back into the garage, and I had a plan to, in case my parents got up and heard me and caught me in the garage, I would be in my boxers because I'll just say I went to the fridge. We had a refrigerator in the garage. I would just say if I got caught, I went to go grab a water out of the fridge. So I came in, I stripped down to my boxers. I would hide my clothes, and we are also smoking cigarettes and stuff too. So they all stunk. So I put them in the washer. I didn't turn it on. I would just remember to do it in the morning. When I walked back in, I forgot this part. When I walked back into that side door, I shut that side door behind me. There's a latch on the top, okay, that like, there's a weird door latch. I didn't lock the door on the knob. It just latched shut. As I'm getting ready to walk back into the house, I go and reach for the doorknob into the house. It's locked, okay? Remember, I normally keep it cracked. Apparently, my mom had gotten up in the middle of the night, saw that the door was open. She closed it and locked it. So now I'm trapped in the garage. I, all of a sudden, in the side yard, hear a man. I hear a man, and he's making deep, groaning, like, sounds like your Vince McMahon impression. He's like, ugh, ah. And I was like, oh fuck. And I see the door handle jiggle. Okay, the side door from the garage to the side yard, that door jiggles
Raptor style.
He's trying to open, exactly, he's trying to open it, and that one latch that's up here is keeping that door from flying open. The door, like, he could probably get a hand in if he wanted to, because there's nothing locking it down below. It was just latched up top. He's making a bunch of moaning and groaning. I'm like, surely somebody hears this, right? I'm like, oh my God, somebody followed me home. He's gonna try and do something to me. I'm in my underwear. I don't know what to do. He starts going up and down my side yard, knocking shit over, knocking a planter over, grunting and moaning, and keeps coming back and checking the door again. And I am underneath my dad's car, the most scared I've ever been in my life, thinking that I'm going to be fucking killed because I can't get into the house. Some guy is trying to make his way into the garage. If I had to, I guess I could open up my dad's driver's side door and start slamming on the horn and wake everyone up. Obviously, that would blow my whole cover. He never got in. He got tired of doing this for it was about like 10 minutes. And I'm like, I can't believe no one fucking heard this guy. He was the loudest. And the older I get, I go, it might have been a Bigfoot because it was near the hills. Okay. I'm like, what human being would do this? This is a rational thought I had. Could have been a Bigfoot. But to this day, I have no idea. I think I was probably stalked by some pervert that saw a drunk 11-year-old walking all the way home. And right as he was about to fucking open that door where he saw me walk in, that fucking door latched and he just couldn't get in. And I think my life was saved by some freak accident. My dad, he goes, the fucking creature or whatever it was leaves. Now I have to wait for my dad to get up for work, which is about 6 a.m. He would walk into the garage, have his like morning cigarette, which was like at 6 a.m. I was in my underwear curled up into a little ball. I was like, I also had to like maintain a lie here, okay? They couldn't know that I went out and got drunk. So I told them I went into the garage to get a drink of water and somebody was trying to get into the garage and then the door was locked. I locked myself out. I didn't know what to do. He didn't believe a word of it. He thought all the shit that was on the side yard was done by me to like, he thought I snuck out, which I did, but he thought I did it as like to create this elaborate story. I don't think he believes me to this day, but I told him like a guy fucking followed me home and almost abducted me. He's like, I think you were just drunk. And that's my story. That was my going out to that was not high school per se, but that was like a year or two before high school, and I don't know, man. I don't know what it was, but it was a really weird night. Oh, and there was a cat, by the way. There was a random cat that was meowing that was in my yard, and I don't know if he was there for his cat potentially, but it didn't seem like it because he hung around way too long and was trying to get into the house. So I'm assuming he was.
Your dad believed you till he said the cat thing. He's like, there wasn't a cat.
There's no cat,
You
dude.
fucking liar.
You fucking. So yeah,
What
that was
the aftermath.
the aftermath was. Well, I ended up, I had a real rough couple 3-4 years as a kid. I was like drinking and smoking. It was like this whole thing, and that was like
Bad boy
right.
Kass.
Yeah, I was a real bad 11-year-old, and I just like kept on that track for a while until like I think I stopped acting out when I was a sophomore in high school, and I had I made some friends that were responsible and not pieces of shit. But from like 6th grade to 9th grade, I was a real rotten kid. Real rotten kid.
Damn.
Yeah.
You got it out early, kid.
I got it out early, and
I
then
meant
I
right-
picked it up later.
Story.
What's that?
I meant right after the story. What did your parents do? But
Oh, no, they just
further
didn't
down the
believe.
road,
They didn't believe me. So they didn't believe me, and then they just thought I made it up and that I snuck out and I created some story. So, yeah.
Damn. Okay. Unless Casey wants to ask or wants to tell a story, my last question is, why wouldn't you name the show Ask Kassem?
Oh, okay. Well, it's not because that's a whole other show that I don't do anymore. And this is again, this is called Call Kass. Case came up with this name. Okay, Fiona's like, of course you named it Call Kass. Yeah, all right. It's a great name. Okay,
Yeah.
but that's
There's
why
two con noises.
it's its own show, which is very different than the show I used to do on YouTube. But I do want to hear if Case. What,
Because I want to get to more callers. If a different caller asks, I
Okay.
can go into one, but I'll save it for the future.
I want a juicy Chicago, or were you in Vermont? And
No,
you
I was
were
in
in
Virginia.
You were, or I'm sorry, Virginia.
Southern boy drinking stories.
The wild and wonderful whites. All right. Thank you, Knocked Up Nut. Thanks for that trip down memory lane, brother.
You have a great night, guys.
Yeah, you too, man. Call in
Thanks,
next
man.
week if you got anything.
Great. Yeah.
Gnome Pro has breaking news, and then we've got Smoke Packs, and then Moongrave. We got to hear this Gnome Pro breaking news. Gnome, are you there?
I'm here. How are y'all today?
Well, it's
Pretty
great to hear you, Gnome Pro. We've had a couple weeks without you. We've had Matt Lidell calling in, and it seems like doesn't seem like anything's
Yeah,
really been
there's,
resolved.
No, sadly, I had to go through one hurricane, so all my shit blew away at one of them. Because you walk out with 3 stacks of papers, and you're juggling them. Then all of a sudden, 90 mile-an-hour winds. I think they're in Kansas now. But
Oof.
that being said, we did recover most of those papers, and I mean, there is some breaking news to it. But first of all, how are y'all doing? Y'all doing good? Y'all been good?
We're doing good. I know you're in the South. I mean, were you in Louisiana? Where are you at?
Yeah, I mean, I don't care to say this. I'm in New Orleans, and we
Yeah.
were with Francine. So Francine, I think, hit as a 2.
Yeah.
It nowhere near as bad. I think from the last one, what was it Helen, whatever it was. It sucks for the ones that were flooded out and stuff like that. Hitting at a 4, it's intense.
Yeah.
That has to be
it's
intense.
crazy.
And I'm surprised even North Carolina got as bad as it did.
Yeah, well, okay. I'm glad that you're for the most part are okay. Besides a couple papers being blown away, you're doing good. What's the breaking news, Gnome? Oh, and here's some footage here. Case has got going. Where's this from, Case?
The footage from the
I do East Coast.
everything
it
that I've
says.
seen from the hurricane has been bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems pretty brutal from the stuff I've seen.
Yeah, no, bro.
Um,
What's the news?
Breaking news is about Matt Lidell. Of
Oh,
course,
boy.
it's been going back and forth, and I'll make sure to keep this, relatively short. But the breaking news is that we did find out that Matt Lidell is a piece of. Oh, hold on. I got a call here. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
All right.
Hold on.
Take your time. It's fine.
Hello. Yeah.
Hmm.
Wait. What?
Well, it's breaking news.
You can't. No. You can't say it. No. Okay. Well, I'm on the show now.
Okay.
And then no.
Uh-oh.
Well, that ruins the whole. Oh, guys, hold.
Yeah.
What the
Obviously,
fuck
take
are
your
you
time.
talking about?
Whoa. It's really popping off over there,
Okay,
Case.
all right. Well,
You got a delivery or something?
We'll do it live. Oh God! All right. So.
Everything all right?
Oh God.
Yeah, you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. It's this whole thing with Matt Lidell. It became to my acknowledge just now that Paige Turner, the one that was doing the expose that y'all heard from before.
Yeah,
Love
from the
Paige, yeah.
from the
that
expose.
video?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It turns out that she's been lying this whole fucking time.
Whoa. So the whole expose is
apparently so.
not.
Is I mean, apparently Matt's not a bad person, and she's really good at editing and forging a bunch of information. It's because supposedly Matt and her went on a date, and through the pants she saw what was going down, and she was pretty excited. And Matt Lidell, didn't ghost her. He just wasn't feeling it, so he decided not to continue relations with it.
Whoa.
But she seemed to be upset.
Wow. This is like a Gone Girl situation a little bit here.
Yeah.
Wow, Matt. Does Matt is
So
Matt
she
into
made
like
up the whole
hunting
fucking thing.
wildlife or anything? Does he like by any chance play with bear corpses or leave whales on the roof of his car? It's just bagging a journalist
Probably
is
a
hard.
question for him.
Okay, that's fair.
I cannot trust anything my team says now. So other than that, I think Matt is a nice fellow, and I'm sorry for any mud we dragged him through, because Paige Turner's a bitch. And
Wow.
Cutting ties with Paige Turner. Are you sure you want to throw under the bus?
I got to fire her.
Okay.
I think she was working with Vince McMahon as well.
Oh, that would make
wow.
sense.
Okay.
Well, that speaks to.
She helped him grow that mustache.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Good look. That was a classic look.
We got to get rid of her. I mean, this speaks to your true nature, and you're you're a good guy. You could admit when you were wrong, and you could have easily just ignored that information and kept dragging his name through the mud. But that, good on you for admitting that you were wrong and maybe hired a potentially problematic journalist.
Bad hire. Yeah. And I mean, I do work in the news. I thought that maybe I can, vet them out a little bit better, but no, they got me. I'm not really good at reading resumes. I mean, it came on a piece of paper and I read it. I said, "This is a resume."
Oh,
People
wow.
get close to their subjects and stuff happens. It happens to the best journalists there are, the hottest, blondest,
I
best
can't
journalists.
believe that I was targeted for this, because
Yeah.
it seems like that she had an agenda of her own. So
Wow.
I do want to apologize to Matt for any mud that we went through, but yeah, apparently good guy. Good guy.
All right. Well, I hopefully, geez, man, it would be cool if Matt was here and he heard this. But I gotta be honest, I'm a little disappointed. I thought I really looked forward to the beef evolving every week, and so if it's over, it's over, I guess.
Well,
I just feel bad
might
for
have
Paige,
to turn my attention to see what this whole Paige Turner thing is, so there might be an update on that. But
Okay.
right now, I kind of, I'm kind of upset by the phone call that y'all made me, that y'all heard that I had to take right when I thought I was about to deliver even bigger news that apparently was bullshit.
That sucks.
Well, what was that bigger news? Even though we all know it's bullshit, but what was that gonna be? Yeah.
That under it all,
Uh-huh.
Matt Lidell was Vince McMahon.
Whoa.
Guess
Wow.
I've never seen
all
Matt in
along.
person. That'd be crazy.
No, there's a 7th episode of the Vince McMahon documentary.
Yeah,
with
oh my
Matt Lidell
gosh.
Coming.
Wow, that'd be crazy.
Well, that was,
That'd
you
be a
know,
huge scoop.
yeah. If you would have believed that, you would have looked real dumb. So it's probably for the
Matt
better.
Lidell is Vince McMahon with the mustache, so whenever he takes it off, it's one of those, I think.
I see.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
apparently that's a lie.
It's.
That's
I
a
think
complete
that's
lie.
probably a lie.
'Cause
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay. Well,
I
you
was
know,
told to.
respect to
But that
you,
stuff's good.
Gnome Pro. Respect for putting the beef down and picking up the friendship. You know, hopefully he can forgive you. I think that's one thing we'll need to hear from Matt is whether or not he's willing to forgive you, and maybe, you know, we can find out if Paige Turner is going to be held responsible, because pretty damaging stuff that she's been doing. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not. I mean, going back and looking at the video, and learning what I've learned, like within the past 2 minutes,
yeah,
I can't believe I put that video out there.
yeah. I
happens
mean,
to the
I
best
can't
of
believe
us,
my
yeah.
name's on that. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
yeah, it was a good video though. It was really salacious.
And our only piece of advice for media is never feel shame or apologize for anything. So just be careful apologizing for anything.
Yeah,
Well, fuck.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Fuck. Shit.
Don't.
Yeah.
No. Don't
It's
say
an
you're sorry.
instinct. You got to learn it over time.
Yeah. You'll figure it out. Thanks, Gnome Pro. Thanks for the raid today too, by the
Well,
way.
yeah, I don't want to. I know y'all got probably a lot of callers and stuff like that. I don't want to take too much of your time.
We
I
got
didn't,
a
you
lot.
know,
We got so many.
thanks for hearing us out, and thank you for taking my call.
Thanks, Gnome
Thanks,
Pro.
Gnome Pro.
Stay dry out there, buddy. Jeez, man. That's big news. Well, Matt
Paige
Lidell.
Turner.
Yeah, if you're out there, we're gonna need to get you sort of on the show at some point to see if you can accept Gnome Pro's apology and see if we can unite and turn our attention to Paige Turner, the real son of a bitch here. But first, a fellow Chicagoan, Smoke Packs wants to
Packs.
hop on the show, talk all things Chi-Town. What's up with Chicago having so many nicknames, by the way?
It's crazy.
What's up with that?
I don't even know where I lived.
What's up,
Hey,
Smoke?
Smokebacks.
So the thing with it, at least for me, for the Chicago nicknames, the real people who live here, we don't call it Chi-Town. I feel like maybe Ye set that as like a big popular thing in songs, but for real, I don't really know anyone who calls it Chi-Town. I don't know. That's just me. I'm not
see it in
gonna
text.
be like, yo, you're fake if you say it, but
I don't hear it out loud, but I see CHI in text a lot. Is that kind of?
you do see it in text a lot. That is true.
What do you guys
Or-
just
or
say?
like in
Chicago?
advertisements
You
for the
just
city.
call it regular old
Yeah, we say Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I call it the city of
Usually
big
I feel like-
shoulders, and I say it that way every time.
Yeah. The Windy
Yeah,
City,
it's like,
City Big
some
Shoulders.
fat
Mhm.
Wisconsin man voice.
Mhm.
Yeah, saying
Big
The city
shoulders.
of big shoulders. Yeah, 100%.
All right. What's up with you, Smoke Packs? I mean, last time we talked with you, there's a lot of sort of controversy in the Magic the Gathering world. You were kind of down on the sort of ban on the particular card that I don't remember. But how are you? Have you recovered? What's on your radar this week?
No, me and Pack Boys Nation are we're kind of in a turmoil, an emotional turmoil. I don't want to I don't want to bring the mood down too much.
You want to call them the Pack? You said the Pack
a lot of
Boys?
developments.
The Pack Boys Nation.
Yeah, my fans, my MTG, Marvel
Right.
Snap crew.
Yeah.
Of course.
We're Pack Boys Nation, yeah. So I don't know. It's just I got word back in from my people, and we're just talking and debating it all. And then new development is the rules committee, which was made up of just regular Joes,
Mm-hmm.
is completely disbanded. Now Wizards of the Coast is taking over as the Commander Rules Committee.
Oh.
Is going to be officiating some power level scalings and might even undo the bannings.
Oh,
But-
okay.
It gets crazy. It gets emotional. The casual format of Commander has turned really competitive, so that's also kind of like two communities like headbutting like philosophies on how to play the game, and it's just I'm trying to let everyone cool down. I in times like this, I try not to let emotions like get in the way of what the bigger picture is, So I just let people air their grievances responsibly in my Discord and just, get games going and keep it moving,
Yeah, I've seen a lot of headlines that are like Magic died today, or I don't know, just turmoil plus Magic. I've seen on my Twitter timeline.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I can't. The Facebook groups with all the boomers who actually invest in the game, they're lamenting. I don't have a Twitter, so I can only imagine how that is, because that's crazy over there. The official MTG Discord and the Rules Committee Discord, man, God help all those people. They have a lot to say, but I kind of keep it cool. I just like to play the game, whether there's like official rulings or not. If cards are a bunch of money, cards are a bunch of money. There's this thing called reserve list in Magic. It's kind of like comic book collecting on a harder scale.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, imagine if Spider-Man 1 will never be reprinted ever again.
Well, it won't.
Like
so
older.
yeah.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
So like Black Lotus is part of that class of like Magic cards called reserve list, or another card is called the Power 9.
It's like if they were to never reprint it, but also never let you read it again. Is that kind of what it's like for Magic? Because it just, when a comic book, it's kind of helps the rarity, helps add value if it's never being printed again.
Exactly. It's kind of just like, if you want these cards, you could use them for whatever parts of like Magic they're legal in, but most of the times they're just like high-end collector's pieces. Cause I think just because Magic created the whole word trading card game, according to them, so
yeah,
I think it's just like a whole thing with like history and just collectibles. You know how it all goes. That's where I'm more interested in. That's why I'm like these rulings and stuff. It's like whatever. I'll worry about it 10 years later when my cards are actually their value I care about them at.
Can you
see that value?
Can you give us and break it down and explain it like a EL I'm 5? Explain it like I'm 5. The current beef, or what the actual issue here is. Now, from what I understand, there are cards that recently they have decided to never print again. These are cards that people have invested lots of money in, sometimes hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, and now they found themselves with an inability to use these cards because of an overall ban. Now that's sort of where we left off last week. Is that right?
Sort of, yeah, and maybe me explaining might have confused things along the way and muddied the waters. It's two things. So the reserve list is it's like separate from this issue. It's like a class of cards that will never be printed again. You could play them in certain like Magic card formats.
Mm-hmm.
They're not affected by the banning. The bannings are affected in this format called Commander. It's a 100-card format of Magic that was created by like fans of the game, not necessarily the people who make it.
Okay.
And then the people who made it saw it got popularity, so they just print product for it. And eventually they printed cards that were super OP in like the casual format, and like you'd meet up at like random games with people IRL or over the internet, and like you kind of know what cards are going to be played if they're playing like red. You kind of know like, okay, this guy's going to have Dockside Extortion if he's playing red. If he's red-blue, he's going to have Dockside Extortion turn 4.
Mm-hmm.
Your whole day is ruined. You just traveled 40 minutes to get there, trying to escape like your life, to play Magic. Boom, you sit down, the casual format got toxic. So there's just 4 cards recently in the Commander format that got banned.
Mm-hmm.
Dockside Extortionist, Jewel Lotus, I'm going off the top of my head here, man. Just 4 cards basically. 2 of them were collector's pieces, similar to reserve lists, just because they're old Magic history pieces. One was only available as a promo in a book from the 90s, back when like sci-fi and fantasy had like books and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This is like what Magic used to be about. So there's just like historic pieces, even if they're not reserve lists, that Magic Rules Committee, who is just a group of regular people, not affiliated with Magic, like cards, the printing or anything. They're just like in charge of the format of Commander and like its philosophy. They were like, okay, without warning, without letting anyone know, even some of the people involved in the committee didn't know, we're banning cards that would make people really emotional and upset. We should have done this 2 to 3 years ago, or at least given warning or some like preliminary, like, you know how Marvel Snap does OTAs
Right.
and like talks to the community.
Yeah.
There was none of that. So they fired all these people, and like other people kind of stepped down who are like Magic creators, like in the YouTube space, who were also a part of this committee. They all basically got told like to leave. They got the boot. The official people who make Magic cards took over, and they're just basically going to officiate Commander, the format, like they would like Modern, Standard, and Draft.
And that's
So just like they're gonna have like
that's
a whole
bad,
rule set.
right? We don't want that. We want it sort of like creator owned, or do we like
kinda
that?
do, we kind of don't.
Yeah.
We like some people and some groups I'm a part of, depending on what we're doing in Magic. If we're actually playing the cards, who gives it like F, like realistically. But if we're like collectors, that's scary, because then it's like,
Mhm.
all right, now the people who kind of like, even though the rules committee was a bunch of like regular people, some people in the Magic community feel Hasbro forced Blasi to like force these people to do a very crazy action, like ban these cards. It gets very conspiratorial. That's why I'm just like, man, I look at it all, I'm reading it. It's been like 7-8 years since Magic's been this kind of like on crazy like mode with hype and like controversial news. So
Yeah.
this is kind of like my third or fourth round seeing this type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of just ignore that behavior and think of the longer run as far as what my collection will do, and whatever Wizards needs to do with cards. If they want to reprint all the cards I have there, $2,000 or whatever, fine. They don't. Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro does not like the secondary market. That's like where you could buy individual cards,
Yeah.
because they don't see profit. You know, they only see profit from sealed product sales that distributors and stores buy from them. And then I think when you buy from stores, maybe Wizards gets a cut. So it's like a real deep, boring, you know, rabbit hole that like tons of nerds are typing paragraphs about ad nauseum.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. It's like, you know, the health of the game is, you know, due to the fact that there is like an economy and like a resale sort of life to cards and things. It's like it is helpful for the game, and people will play it and buy the cards more if they know that there is this sort of economy happening. I understand not being able to make money, but there is like a little bit that's helping here for them. And so there's this tricky balance of how much of that do we let go on, you know, versus sort of trying to make a profit in. And yeah, I don't know. I think that's it's a tricky position to be in. It's tough when you've got thousands of dollars invested in a card game. I gotta imagine, you know, sometimes when we think, you know, these little things that are happening are so silly, it's just our card game. It's like, you know, a lot of this is like stuff people have been into for 20 years and they have tons of money put in. They probably have more money into this than they do their cars in some cases. Like, I get it. I get when anytime there's like a little decision that's made or a ban or a something that affects the community, it is a, you know, potentially could send ripples and really fuck people up. I get it. It's not cool.
Yeah. No, yeah. And I really don't think like anyone, unless there's like someone sitting around trying to like, you know, quote unquote invest by like buying multiple copies of these cards to sit and flip, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone realistically got hurt, but emotionally people caught feelings and felt some type of way from this news, because it's a casual format. It was always kind of the punk rock thing of Magic where like, yeah, we're Commander. We're not actually owned by Wizards of the Coast, but we kind of do our own thing and we're popular.
Yeah.
We're not like really hardcore serious, like the 60 card. Over time, that changed since like 2018 to now. So it's just community attitude, new mindsets of a Magic player, and like this happens in the history of all trading card games. Yu-Gi-Oh! I've heard has done this like 6 times.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of Magic's first time doing it, and then it's just something I feel like maybe has to happen in a life cycle of a TCG that's going to be 30 years long, you know?
Yeah.
These goddamn credit default swamps, you know? It's just not fair what they're doing to us.
It's not.
Yeah.
You know, Case, real quick, since we're speaking of swamps, one of my favorite swamps in Chicago to sit and eat a pizza pie at is MFP Quads, my guy.
Yeah.
That was a king king call out, 100%.
Sometimes you gotta go to Pequod's.
Fucking legit.
Right
dude.
across from a pretty standard movie theater with reclining seats.
100%. Oh, I go to the Burbs location where it was originally founded.
Yeah.
It's just like a smaller pub feel.
the more
but
classic one.
Any location. Yeah. Any location though. Me and my two friends, we go there like every other month, like kind of like a friends like dinner thing where we just buy each other a pie and just shoot the shit.
Hell yeah.
Pequod. See, I'm a real Chicago guy.
Yeah,
Cass.
I thought you were faking it just
No,
until now.
You said 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Nah,
like
15 years makes you a real Chicago guy, dude. For real, at that point.
yeah, it was like 13 years, but I'm rounding up.
You got the best of
Yeah,
both
fuck
worlds,
it. We'll-
dude.
We'll give you 20.
You got
Yeah.
you got your comedic sensibility from Chicago, and then you got that LA glow up. Yeah.
Yeah, I got all my
Best.
racial views from
Hell yeah.
Virginia.
Hell yeah.
Tremendous.
You got whole American values across the whole country,
Yeah,
bro.
so
Yeah,
American.
You are the fabric. Thanks, Smoke Packs. I appreciate you giving us a lowdown on Magic. Maybe you can make that a regular thing here.
Oh,
Give
yeah,
us.
thank you.
We got by the way, Pokemon Pocket. I don't know if get your thoughts, and then we got Moongrave coming up. But Pokemon Pocket is a new TCG, digital TCG that just sort of soft launch. It's in like you can play it if you use a VPN because it's technically only launched in New Zealand, but it launches next month or at the end of October, I should say, just not to be confused depending on when you're watching this. And it's going to be sort of like kind of is already a big deal. A lot of the folks that play Marvel Snap are playing Pokemon Pocket. I know some of you that, in the chat are waiting for it. Are you going to get down on Pokemon Pocket? Are you excited about it, or are you going to stay with like a Snap?
I guess because I haven't ever really played Pokemon outside of like someone teaching me how to play it at a Magic tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm that cool. I don't know. I guess I just don't know how I could really hop in because I don't super remember how the game works. I know it's like relatively simple.
Yeah.
I just don't want to get pulled back into Hearthstone. I've been playing Balatro because now it's out on my phone,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe I'll just try to keep that as my phone addiction.
Yeah.
See, I'm trying to get into Balatro, bruh.
Yeah, get in that Balatro.
I'm trying to
Pokemon
break
Pocket-
into Balatro. Mm-hmm.
Try breaking that Balatro. My buddy, I saw him. He was wearing a T-shirt. I'm like, oh fuck, dude, it's over. I'm playing this game. But nah, Pokemon Pocket. I'm feeling the vibe on it. I might stream it just for fun to shoot the shit with, but I think it's not gonna be on the PC, or maybe this playtest where I'm seeing people play it currently isn't.
Got to download one of
So
those
it might-
Android emulators on your.
Emulator. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Or like find a way. Well, I usually would. I was gonna like just USB-C.
Oh, that works. Yeah.
Like
Screen
HDMI
share.
connect- Yeah, just go all wire. Yeah, Frankenstein it.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I do want to get into it because it's not gonna be like the actual TCG. It's gonna be a kind of like dumbed down, smaller pocket version of it, and a lot of the focus is just being able to crack packs. You get daily free packs every time you like log in. I think 3 times a day.
Yeah.
So there's like
Yeah.
a lot of incentive to, I feel like, to just casually collect and play this. I don't think it's gonna go hardcore like maybe Marvel Snap or like Hearthstone or Arena where it gets competitive. I think
Yeah.
Pokemon likes to stay in a realm of like everyone accesses this, and if you want to go hard, you can only go as hard as we're gonna let you, and make a community around that.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I think based on what I've been watching some people play it, and there is like a daily cap to how much money you can spend. I think they really obfuscate how much and how the money gets spent and all the resources that are in the game. But I think you can spend $140 a day on the game if you really wanted to
Only?
open up max packs. You're gonna get guys that are just gonna wail out on this thing 100%. But if you want a free to
I
play,
think that's pretty healthy though.
it could be worse. They could
I
just
can
not
only
have a
spend
cap.
$1,000 a week on this game.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
Sucks.
That way they can say that they are, being conscientious of people, with addiction issues and stuff like that. I'm definitely going to free to play it. I think what games that take my money right now are Marvel Snap, and it costs enough money to.
I'm in the same boat with you.
You guys hear me? I'm sorry. I said my mic was off.
Oh, we can still hear you. Kass.
Okay. Everyone that I like was in the cream team, and there's a lot of Pokemon heads, and so everyone's like, we love Pokemon. Maybe this is like an entry point for me, just like Marvel Snap was an entry point for TCGs for me. So I don't know. It seems like an easy, simple format, and if I can open a couple free packs a day, I think maybe max I would spend the $10 on a season pass a month and open 3 packs a day. Just, you know, but like knowing me, I'm gonna be like, well, if I just spent $10, I could open up 10 more packs today, and so I gotta kind of be careful with that. I think having Marvel Snap as my predominant card game it'll keep me sort of from going too hard in Pokemon. But yeah, I don't know. I like the idea of being able to trade cards. So if like me and Ash can open up packs together at night, and then we can trade cards with each other, that's kind of cute because she's not a Marvel Snap person, you know. So
when are they gonna make an adult trading card game like Baywatch? Baywatch, the trading card game, and the German version where there were uncensored tits.
Yeah.
What's that?
They had a WWE trading card game.
Oh,
Did
okay.
they?
I'm pretty sure.
It's pretty good.
That would be cool. It would be cool if, like, remember back in Vegas where they gave you those little cards with the escort flyers on them, like the guys would hand out on the street. Back in the 90s, I don't know if any of you guys remember this, but in the 90s in Vegas, the streets were littered with ads for strippers and escorts, and they all had their own playing card-like little business card, and I would go around and just pick them up, and my dad let me because he's like, see, my son's not gay. I'm like, you know, I'm like 8 years old being exposed to all these titties, and though they had little stars over the nipples, but that when you said that, that's what I thought. I'm like, yeah, that'd be cool if that got turned into a TCG.
It'd be kind of fun to make a game out of those 90s like stripper flyers from Vegas.
Dude, that would be sick. It's like kind of like 90s Garbage Pail Kids core, like edgy card. Like, just it's not like a serious game, but it's like a trading thing. You just pass around with your friends.
For sure, there is a market. I know there's a guy on like TikTok who created, as it started as a joke, but then it turned into an actual game as the Divorced Dads card game.
I've seen that guy.
Yeah, I think that's really funny. As long as, you know, I think it's cool when games. It's just like hard because you need people to play them, you know, for the it's like, yeah, I got a whole set of Divorced Dad cards, and no one plays it, and so it's like, But with Pokemon, I like the fact that the IP is like one of the biggest IPs in the world. So to me, that's good for the longevity of the game.
Yeah.
So
the most macho trading card game is just a classic card deck with boobs.
Totally.
That's what the real men play with.
52 pick.
They're smoke-filled rooms.
Yeah.
True.
All right, Smoke Packs, thanks for the call, brother. Hopefully we'll get to talk to you next Monday on the next call, Kass.
Yeah, appreciate y'all.
Yep. All right, buddy. We got one last caller, and then we'll get to all the subbies. I'll get to everyone that's subbed in case we'll do all his, and we'll be on our way. We've got Moongrave, who's been on the phone for an hour waiting for us.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, Moongrave.
Moongrave, thank you for hanging in there. You are a true champ. What's going on, brother? How are you?
Yo, Kass, what's up? How you doing?
What's up, Moongrave? It says you're calling about paranormal and the Mandela effect. A man after my own heart.
Yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm.
So, what would you like to start with first, Mandela effect or paranormal experience?
Sure. Hit me with your Mandela effect.
Okay, so, how do you feel about Mandela effects? Do you believe in it, or what's your thoughts on it?
I go case by case with them. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
Sometimes, like, you might have to cue me with a couple of them. Like the actual Nelson Mandela. Was it that he died or that he was in prison, or was it what was the actual original Mandela effect that he died? Okay,
so
I think I remember
he died, but then yeah.
Okay.
So that's where it originated from.
Okay. Oh, the other
Yeah,
one
but
was
there's,
the
like-
Berenstein. I remember the Berenstein
Yeah.
bears were Steen, not Stain spelled. Well,
Same.
go up a little bit, Case. There, I think there was one above that I've we'll go one more. Oh, Jiffy and Jif. Jiffy and Jif. When you there was Jiffy Pop, right, which was popcorn.
Yeah.
But then there's Jif peanut
Yeah,
butter, so
I remember popcorn.
I don't get confused with Jiffy and Jif. The Fruit of the Loom one, I don't know if there's Fruit of the Loom on here, but that one kind of threw me for a loop. So I guess I don't know.
No. Yeah, the Fruit of the Loom one definitely.
So I don't know. Sometimes I go, maybe the fucking people in charge of the fucking brand got their history wrong, because if we're all clearly feeling a certain way, what are they? Oh, they saying Fruit Loops was spelled F-O-R. I think Fruit Loops could have just changed it, right? Because that could have been like the FDA saying like, hey, there's no fruit here. You can't use the word fruit. And then they had to change it.
Wait, sorry. The worst one on here has to be King Henry VIII's turkey leg. I've never heard of this particular one.
Oh, that he was holding a turkey leg?
So
Yeah.
So I kind of discovered a newer one that like we haven't talked about.
Okay.
So I'll just start off with Richard Simmons. Do you remember him with a headband or no headband?
Ooh. In my mind says he had a headband, but it's not something I think I'd feel 100% confident in. What's the actual truth?
Okay, so there's like this one goes a little bit deeper though too. So I remember him with the headband. That was like iconic. That was like his thing with the headband. But if you go to Google and search his name with headband, you cannot find like an actual picture of him with headband, but you have people who have Halloween costumes that mistaking him with a headband.
You know what?
I thought that was him. Oh my
you know
God,
what
I
it
got so
was?
tricked.
Is he wore the wristbands, and we must have just got those
The
confused.
wristbands, yes.
Right?
Yeah. So I'm guessing so, but okay. So another thing that like happened with him is his death. I remember him dying in 2014 due to skin cancer, but he just recently died like a couple months ago due to like heart failure or something like that.
Yeah, he just died like this year, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a collective of people who also remember him dying in 2014. So that's why like this one's just kind of like recently popped up for a lot of people because like we're like, oh, what? He was still alive? Like we totally thought he passed away already.
Yeah.
He might be kind of like one of those not George Clooney. Oh my God, the first James Bond. Why am I forgetting his name?
Roger Moore?
No,
Or
the second James Bond. George, Scottish guy.
Oh, Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
Yeah.
I kept thinking Sean Connery was dead for years,
yeah.
and then he wasn't.
Yeah.
So the thing about the Richard Simmons thing though too is his death. There's like residual. Like if you kind of do like a deep dive into Google, you can find reports of him like passing away in 2014. But like right now, like you kind of have to like do like a deep dig on it because right now, like when you search his name, death, like the July date comes up. The July 2024 date comes up like more dominant, I guess you would say. But yeah, I don't know. Some of these things they just have too much residual. Like I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't know what to believe exactly. Sometimes I genuinely think that we are in a simulation, but who knows?
Yeah, I kind of buy into the idea of it. I think most of the ones that people consider to be a Mandela effect. I just go like, how much attention did you really pay to that thing growing up? There are a couple I feel weird, like the Berenstein Bears. Like the problem with Berenstein Bears is like, I was fucking 5, 6 years old when I was reading that. Maybe I don't know, 7, 8. Like, did I really pay attention to the way the last name was spelled? The one I feel probably strongest about is the Fruit of the Loom, the cornucopia being in the logo, and
yeah, definitely.
But I do think that the simulation thing is definitely a possibility, and so there are. Maybe we're in different fucking timelines. Maybe there's a parallel Earth that were, that's Berenstein spelled a certain way, and I can get behind that stuff. I don't think
I like Mona Lisa's
Yeah.
smile being one, because that's literally just a part of the painting is that her
What-
smile is barely detectable.
what are they
That was
saying
kind
is
of a stretch.
what are they saying is the effect?
The claim on this heavily sourced Esquire article is just that people are like, she used to be smiling more. I swear.
Oh no, that's
It
just us.
wasn't a subtle smile.
That's just us being toxic men telling women they should
Yeah.
be smiling more.
You could smile more.
Yeah, Mona Lisa, why don't you try
Your
smiling
value would go
more?
up.
What was your paranormal thing, Moongrave?
Okay, so paranormal. Do you guys believe in paranormal activity?
Yeah.
Like, what's your thoughts on it? Yeah, definitely.
I 100%.
I'm a little bit of a harder sell than
Okay.
Kass, but I'm open to it.
He's open. That's all you need,
Okay,
man.
no worries, yeah. For sure. Okay, so yeah, I just want to share like a paranormal experience that I had.
Mhm.
I don't know. I get into paranormal stuff. I like watching stuff on YouTube, people's videos, and like reading about people's experiences. Anyways, so I finally had my own paranormal experience. I'll try and sum this up,
Ooh, exciting.
like, pretty quickly. Like my last job, I used to travel to Houston. I live in DFW, so it's like a 4-hour drive. Anyways, I would work like maybe 50, 60 hours down in Houston and then drive home, and that was my work week. Anyways, I had a really, really long work week, 1 week, and I came home and I was like feeling very like, almost like kind of delirious in the sense of things. But anyway, so I lied down, went to bed, and I started having like gnarly like sleep paralysis.
Mhm.
And I remember like waking up and seeing like a shadow person, but this dude like was wearing like a cowboy hat.
Mhm.
And then I remember trying to like scream to wake myself up. Obviously, this thing happens to multiple people, sleep paralysis. But as I woke up, the TV like in my bedroom like flickered on, which was really weird. And then like my fire alarm on the roof, like it didn't have any batteries in it, but it started like flashing, which I checked like later on, like the next morning, and there was no batteries in the fire alarm. And then after that too, so I had a Ouija board sitting in the corner of my room
Oh.
that it was like unopened. It was just chilling. Like I never used it. I bought it for like a white elephant Christmas gift kind of thing, because like white elephant sort of like, kind of gag gift or whatever. Anyways, I ended up getting the thing back to me because people were like, no, this is yours, take it. So I
Yeah.
was like gonna like return it because I didn't open it. I was like, all right, I'll just return it, get my money back on it. Anyways, so I like at random times throughout like the month of having that thing after Christmas, I would hear it like kind of like I would hear rustling in the corner of my room. And that particular night, I totally heard rustling coming from like that corner of the room. And the only thing was over there was that freaking Ouija board. And it like freaked me out so bad that I just grabbed it. I was like still like in my boxers, went up to the gas station up the street and just threw it away. And yeah, like, I don't know, like I was always like skeptical of paranormal stuff.
Yeah.
Until that experience. So, I mean, have you guys had any experiences like that?
Case?
My only like ghost memory is from when I was so young that it's probably not terribly credible, but I was always scared of my basement. One time I walked down there was like this bar at the back of my basement. So like there was a room that had like a bar that separated it from the rest of the basement. So there's like a window and then this bar. And I just saw this guy. I saw this figure with dark brown hair. I can still remember it, just going, oh, in the back of the room. And I was like, what the fuck? And I ran out of there. It was like 5. The only reason it sticks with me is because I still remember it. I maybe was having some bizarre 5-year-old like waking dream, but it wasn't like I saw the image. I just saw the guy as clear as day. And I like looked and I looked back and he was still there. And I ran
Wow.
upstairs, and when I came back down, he was gone.
It's like, Case, we gotta get you back to 1985.
21 gigawatts.
That's fun. I 100% believe in those things because I've had a couple things happen, and I've even talked about them on this stream. But I've had a Hat Man experience. I've had a what I consider to be an overnight stay. We did a ghost hunt a haunted aircraft carrier, and you got to sleep where all the fuck. It was a World War II aircraft carrier, and you slept in the barracks where all the fucking soldiers used to sleep. And you know, at 3 a.m. After ghost hunting, says, you know, you could probably argue a lot of things. Like, Kass, it was on your mind. You were drinking earlier that day. It was all this stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
But I also have, you know, had plenty of drinks and also had not anything weird happen. And at 3 a.m. this one night, me and my production crew, it's like, I don't know, 6 of us, we were on the road for a few days doing this video that's on my YouTube channel. It's like one of my favorite things that we ever got to do. And this part never made it in the video, but it was a bunk that I was sleeping in. It's a little cot, and there were like 2, they were stacked, like 2, there was like one on top of the other, and then sometimes there were 3 stacked. And I was in the, I think I was in a 2 stack, and I was there's somebody below me. And at 3 a.m., I felt a really weird static. I described it as cold static electricity. And
yeah,
I was in a sleeping bag, and my sleeping bag started to unzip itself. I could see it unzip.
Oh my gosh.
And my stomach and belly started to come up, right? So my stomach started pushing up towards the ceiling. And I was like, what's happening? I tried screaming out, please help me, help me. And I could barely muster out a single word. And I was fucking terrified. And I just closed my eyes, and I think like it just went away after a minute or 2. The next morning, I go to the lady who was like our chaperone. She was in charge of bringing all these ghost hunting teams in and like whatever. And she was the one that knew about all this shit. And I told her, I'm like, weirdest thing happened to me is like, I don't know, it felt really weird. I had this feeling like my belly started to come up. My sleeping bag started to unzip. She's like, oh, you were in this guy's bunk. She had a name for him or whatever. I was like, oh, really? She's like, yeah, if you sleep in his bunk, he will try and pick you up and take you out of his bunk. And that's when she said that, I got like full body goosebumps, because it did feel like somebody was trying to lift me out of this bunk. Was that all a part of my imagination? It felt like I was awake, but who fucking really knows? This was in my drinking era, so whatnot. But if that was the only thing that ever happened to me, I might write it off. And I did become pregnant, and there I was. There you are.
The belly came right up.
Belly came up, and I had a Hat Man thing happen in Hawaii. My parents lived in a haunted house in Hawaii, on Kauai, and my dad, who was the biggest skeptic you would ever meet, told me there was this room in the house, and somebody had died in this house before they moved in. I don't know if it was that spirit or it was an older spirit. But this room, I had a Hat Man experience in. My uncle, who's also a skeptic, said something choked him out in the middle of the night. My dad walked into this room and saw one wall in this room covered in flies. Thousands of flies.
Oh.
There's no food in the room. There's no nothing. It was just a whole wall covered in flies, and he couldn't explain it. And I always ask him about it. I'm like, you don't believe in this stuff, but what do you think that was? He's like, I don't know. It was just thousands of flies. It was weird. I hated being in that room. It was just like a lot of that. And, you know, I am so open to the idea that there's just so much we don't understand. And I also, like to listen to encounters and experiences. I usually fall asleep to that stuff, which probably sounds like a bad idea, but we do, by the way, we do
the same thing.
Yeah, I love it. It helps me fall asleep. We do open lines, spooky open lines all the time. Well, not all the time. We've done it like once, but we want to do them regularly because I love talking about this stuff. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff that I don't know. I can't explain, and I'm into it, and I I'm into aliens. You guys know that. I pray to meet one, but then I also hope to never. It's just one of these things. So watch that
Bro, I
watch
feel
that
like
video on my
alien
YouTube
activity-
channel. It's good stuff in there. I had a Ouija board thing. The other thing was I had a Ouija board thing. Never fuck with Ouija boards. I talked to a ghost hunter, and I forget what he called himself, but it was kind of like he had a phone number. It was kind of like Ghostbusters, and he said that 9 out of 10 calls that he got were for people that fucked around with Ouija boards and wanted him to like come and handle it and like reverse whatever it was that happened, you know? And so we did a Ouija board thing at a witch's house, and we caught an EVP, electronic voice phenomenon, and that did make it in the video. And we tried to figure out like if they were fucking with us, did they speak into the microphone when we weren't paying attention? We couldn't debunk it, but we clearly got something on the voice recorder, and I even sent it to a really good sound engineer that I used to work with and be like, can you like clean this up and tell me like, is this something that was picked up on somebody else's mic or whatever? And we couldn't debunk it, and there's clearly like a voice that we didn't recognize in the thing. So I don't know. All I'll say is I don't know, man.
You were at a witch's house though, so it could have been any
I was at
number of spooky.
I was at a witch's house fucking around with a Ouija board, for sure. I was doing the thing you're not supposed to do.
I mean, yeah. That's asking for it.
I definitely was asking for it. And I don't know.
I mean,
I have this curiosity about that kind of stuff that doesn't ever seem to go away. I can't ever satiate myself when it comes to that stuff.
yeah, I'm exactly the same. I mean, I've heard plenty of accounts to like never mess with the Ouija board, that it's extremely dangerous. I have a sister-in-law who she told me a story about messing with the Ouija board. Like her parents went out of town and like her friends came and stayed the night and they were messing with the Ouija board. Anyways, they left for the night and they went out and then they came back and all the faucets in the house were like running. But like when they first walked in, they saw water was dripping from upstairs and they're like, what's going on? And then, yeah, they investigated the house and then all the faucets were turned on. So they messed with the Ouija board again after that and was like asking like why they turned the faucets on. And then the Ouija board said to my sister-in-law, Aunt Peach just died. And then she like freaked out because she has an aunt named Peach. Anyway, she ended up passing away from a heart attack 2 weeks later.
Whoa. Crazy.
Yeah, it's stuff like that is like, it's like, how do you explain that? Like, I don't know.
That's
Don't
crazy.
get Ouija boards. They're not
Don't
worth
stay away from Ouija boards. You can fucking buy them at Target. Do not get them, and they will fuck you up, and you'll have to call a Ghostbuster to take care of it. Moongrave, thank you so much for the call tonight, buddy. I hope you call us again next week. By the way, I know some of you say you have some spooky stories. Call us next week. You got the phone number right there. I love hearing your paranormal stories. Thank you, Moongrave.
Yes, I have a pitch for you. It's just a
thank you, guys.
3-word pitch. Oh, thank you,
I'll talk
Moongrave.
to y'all.
All right. Sorry, I cut him off.
3-word pitch.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's hear it.
Ghost Hunter Biden. That's the title. Just
Love
we put
it.
it out in the universe. We see if it comes back.
This is what happens, okay? Biden, being the old, decrepit, close to the grave man that he is, passes away, right? But he doesn't know he's dead. He still thinks he's president. He haunts the halls of the White House.
And there's only one ghost hunter, Biden,
It's
who's got the tenacity to put his father's spirit to rest.
That's right. While
It's not a
trying to run the
documentary,
country.
It's a scripted series.
He's trying to
starring the
pass
real
policy.
Hunter Biden.
Yeah, that's great. I love it. Ghost Hunter Biden will be. Sounds like a Netflix property, to be honest.
So, Kass, we have so many voicemails. I think there's probably no point in getting into it because we've been going long. But maybe we should. I don't know. It's maybe next week we'll start with some voicemails before we open the line or something.
Yeah, I'm down. I'll cut down on the chit chat next week, and then we can get to more voicemails.
Brutal rapid fire calls.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm gonna do a quick shout out to all the folks. Side Effect for the 10 months, Borpsy for the 8 months, Beckett giving out 5 community subs. Thank you so much, Beckett. I really appreciate that. Twitch. the site,
There must
gave
be some
out a
Twitch promotion.
Did you get
going
one of
on where
those
they,
too?
like,
Yeah.
match subs. Yeah, we were getting some of those.
Yeah, Twitch giving out a site. Modest Anger, thank you for the 9 months. Got any more of those alien updates? Tune in this Friday. Just recorded one today. Microphone, thanks for the 500 cheer bits, and thanks for the 24 months,
Listen up,
Microphone.
Jack. Microphone on 900.
Sorry,
Just Mama
I
Jane,
forgot my
500
Biden thing is still on.
tasty coins, and I've been dying to say this.
Yeah, that's kind of a pre-scripted message.
Oh, that's great. Speaking of Biden,
There's Ghost Hunter
Dilemma,
button.
thank you for the 5 gifted subs, and thanks for the 2 years. Appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Case, I pass it off to you. I love you guys. We'll see you Wednesday for the Patreon.
Listen up, Jack. Microphone on 900. Just Mama Jane.
Biden,
500
stop. We
shiny
don't need you
tasty
now.
Coins, and I've been dying to say
Your spirit
this.
needs to be put to rest, please.
All right, good night, guys. I'll see you Wednesday.